mining operation. Yet true to his own nature, Tony Beets was not the kind of man to give in. He believed that they were going to make a little progress here, so I believe it was beginning to look up. Scenes of rescuers rescuing the stranded excavator flashed on the screen. The D6 dozer was recruited to push the tailings and rudimentary ramp was constructed for the rescue effort. They had to tread a fine line between machine and nature, which Tony Beets resolved to lead right across. As the plan got further along, the settling pond became less quagmire-like. He noticed that things were going in the right direction. The visual exploration of this swampy landscape also reflected the hardships for the miners on Paradise Hill. As the excavator work progressed, I could not help but ask myself, was this another blow to Tony Beets' time? On top of this, the constant enemy convict rain has already delayed production on Paradise Hill all week. Although the pressure was building, Tony had his sights set on the 500 down target and remained optimistic. Earlier they lost about 2 hours as a result of the excavator incident. Mike's cousin, who accidentally drove the excavator into the mud, apparently had to bear the blame. Tony, not one to sugarcoat words, damply reported that Mike was being stuck because the guy didn't listen carefully. With a misplaced excavator and an operation delayed, will Tony Beets and his crew be able to recover from this blow? Even he himself knew that some of his problems stemmed from neglecting details. They added a moment of comedy to their experience by saying that he had to explain everything in English, Dutch, or finished. The challenge of rescuing Tony from difficult situations naturally improved Tony's engineering skills. All we can do is marvel at the fortitude of Tony Beets and his team. As the episode progresses, the question remained, could Tony Beets get past this horrifying discovery, or was it really over for Tony Beets? They had found gold and were going to measure its weight to see if they had achieved their goal. Tony Beets was on a roller coaster of sorts, one that involved numbers. The implications were immense and the number of ounces was even greater. 9 diggers called out the count as they swept through the mining area, 10:30 and so forth, to keep family on track. While it was an encouraging number for some investors at this point, Tony would need over 300 down to achieve his goal. Then the count grew tense: 240, 250, 260. The numbers continued climbing from highs to ever higher peaks as he and the others sifted through rock after rock. They were either right or wrong in their remining endeavor. The ounces kept coming: 350, 360, 1987's production was more than $500,000. It was worth $850. Bringing their total to $461. In 6 days they had worked hard to reach an impressive result. The success was due in part to the harvests from the Zero Pup. Tony knew that, but at least they recognized what 80 Pup could do. That has been doing pretty well for a while now. Now Tony glanced back to the future in hopes of an even better total receipt. So even if there was the time-consuming but vital task of slinging for a day, as long as gold flowed, that's what counted. It wasn't a problem for the gunslingers. The success was undeniable, and Tony could only say from their experience that if it paid well, then it was all right. I found it quite confusing and wondered if the weather wouldn't end up spoiling Tony's goals. Tony was quite satisfied with the result. The friendship and common success were so evident in the piece that it created a kind of identification with the miner struggling against nature for gold. The never-ending quest for gold has been rewarded for now, at least. Feel free to watch my